Every Rock Band player is familiar with the Endless Setlist, but for those unfamiliar, the Endless Setlist is a playlist of every on-disc song that must be completed in one sitting. The player is allowed to pause the game, but they cannot quit the playlist or turn off their console, as that will reset their progress. They usually take a couple of hours, and give rewards. Today, we'll be tackling Rock Band 2's Endless Setlist, because it is perhaps the most fun Endless Setlist experience. For one, it has more songs than Rock Band 1, the player will receive a flashy new icon depending on the instrument used, and the players will actually have to sit through it to obtain these rewards. Unlike Rock Band 3's Endless Setlist, where players can turn on No Fail and let their console run through the setlist and reap their rewards, as No Fail doesn't disable saving in that game, unlike in Rock Band 2 where No Fail does disable saving. Rock Band 2's Endless Setlist takes about 6 hours and 15 minutes, as it contains 84 songs total, and I'll be running the setlist on Expert Vocals, as I already ran the marathon on Expert Guitar and got the platinum icon with it. Before we get into it, I want to explain a few things. First, I did not sit for over 6 hours and do this. I do not have the attention span for that. I did, however, pause the game and take breaks after completing about 20 songs in the setlist. Secondly, I'll be showing highlights of the setlist and not the entire thing. I do not believe anybody wants to sit through 6 hours of some guy singing Rock Band songs just so he can make a silly video. I'll also be butting in with some commentary on the gameplay, and also explaining some gameplay features for anybody that's not too familiar with the game. Finally, I am running this game off the PS3 emulator, RPCS3, so that I can upscale the resolution to 1440p and uncap the frame rate, so that's why it looks better than the actual game on console. Without any more stalling, let's get right into the setlist. First song up is Eye of the Tiger by Survivor. Now the setlist is based off the band difficulty of the songs, so if you were to combine the difficulty of all the instruments of the song up and find the average, you would get the band difficulty. As such, the difficulty is going to be kind of unbalanced, as not all the easy vocal songs are first in the setlist, and not all the hard vocal songs are at the end of the setlist. And with that, we end the first song. Only 83 more to go. And now, we run into our first talkie song. In Rock Band, the vocals gameplay is based on how close the player can come to matching the pitch of the singer's voice in the original song, but sometimes vocalists will speak a note rather than sing it, so whenever unpitched notes come up, all players have to do is let the mic pick up sound and it'll count towards their score. There are 4 talkie songs in the game, and they're comprised of nothing but unpitched notes, with the exception of one. Regardless, vocals players can use these songs as a bit of a break to drink some water or use a throat lozenger. Sometimes during the vocals gameplay, percussion sections will pop up during instrumental sections to give singers something to do while the rest of the band plays. I'll sprinkle this in between singing highlights just to add a bit of more variety and break some monotony. Dead.
Sleep tight, Graham Wright. We have 200 couches where you can sleep tight.
Now we enter what I like to call the sweet spot one. This is all personal opinion, but I think from PDA all the way to We Got the Beat is one of the best spots in the Endless Setlist for vocals. For one, I just really like the songs, but I also like singing them in Rock Band.
See the people walking down the street.
Okay, so at 20 songs in, which is about an hour and 23 minutes in, I decided to take a break. I started this at 8:36 a.m. and took the first break at 9:59 a.m. I wanted to start in the morning, that way I could take a couple breaks throughout the day and not have to stay up real late to get it done. In between sessions, I drank some water, ate some snacks, including chilled applesauce. That'll soothe your throat. I could only imagine going through this entire thing in one sitting. That'd be grueling to me. And at 11:35 a.m., I decided to get back to work.
You're talking a lot, but you're not saying anything. When I have nothing to say, my lips are sealed.
Remember how I mentioned that the set list is based on band difficulty, even if only one instrument is being used? Well, even though we're on song 26, this is considered one of the hardest songs on vocals. So not even a third into the set list and we hit a really hard vocal song. But no worries, I'm a trained professional, so I get 5 golden stars on it.
Let me be a conventional lover. Let me show you some conventional love. I don't mean to boast, I don't mean to brag, but I'm a man whose only issues are the midnight on backs.
Man, I love that song.
Give it away, give it away, give it away now. Give it away, give it away, give it away now. Give it away, give it away, give it away now.
Alright, we are now at the second talkie song. This talkie song is actually different from the rest of the talkie songs because it actually has pitched notes. There's only like 3 of them, but no other talkie songs have pitched notes.
One way you isn't the right thing to do. How can I ever change things that I feel? If I could.
Okay, Mountain Song marks the halfway point based on the total amount of songs, not based on the actual amount of time it takes to beat the set list. So I actually took a break at song 41, literally a song before the halfway point. So I stopped at 12:59 p.m. and came back at 2:24 p.m. I also want to mention, Mountain Song starts what I call the pit. I don't really have a reason to call it that, but I really don't know the pitches in the next set of songs too well, so as such they aren't that fun to me, but luckily it doesn't last too long. Anyways, back to the highlights. So if I remember correctly, this song is the hardest vocal songs out of Rock Band 2's setlist, and we are at song 46, so just over halfway done and we hit the most difficult song to sing. Well, at least according to Harmonix, the game developers. But once again, I'm a trained professional and I 5-star the song.
Round and round, what comes around goes around. I'll tell you why. Yeah. Lefty, please fill me with the makeup. Oh, show me that Baghdad is born in your voice it is.
And with song 51, Testified by Rage Against the Machine, ends the pit. And the song I come back to that I actually know the pitches to is the third talkie song of the setlist, so I don't have to sing. Ironic if you ask me, but at least the pit is ended, and I know most, if not all the pitches to all the songs after this point.
Since I was a young boy, I played the silver ball. From Soho down to Brighton, I must have played them all. But I ain't seen nothing like him in any amusement hall.
Here's the obligatory The Who song. The Who is featured in every mainline Rock Band game, so I had to include its highlight here. Here's another really hard vocal song. Every time I bring up the hardest songs on vocals, I base it on their difficulty of 5 Red Demons, which is the hardest difficulty in the game, and because the Final Vocals Challenge has them. So, if they're in the Final Vocals Challenge, it obviously means the developers thought they were the hardest. If I didn't make it clear before, I'm a trained professional, so 5 gold stars again.
Spirit desire, spirit desire, spirit desire. We will fall.
This might be an unpopular opinion, but this is probably my least favorite Rock Band 2 song. It's not a bad song, but it drags on, and I believe it really just outstays its welcome. At least some of the other more boring songs in this game aren't long, so they end in like a few minutes, unlike this song that goes on for almost 7 minutes. Alright, well, it's out of the way, so let's keep going. Okay, after Shackler's Revenge, song 60, I took another break at 3:47 PM and came back at 5:04 PM. I would have finished a few minutes earlier, but I got a phone call in the middle of R-Truth by Lacuna Coil. Anyways, now we're coming back to Let There Be Rock by AC/DC. This is probably the most notorious song on the setlist, not because it's hard or anything, but the verses allow for the guitars to take a bathroom break as they're just over a minute long. Many guides bring this up, so I thought I'd mention it too. Alright, little fun fact about this song. The player on vocals doesn't sing the bridge part of the song, rather they're given a percussion section. After all, if you know the bridge part of Down With The Sickness, you know how awkward it'd be to sing it, even if it is just spoken notes. The song was also Guitar Hero 5 DLC, and that chart actually has the player on vocals quote unquote sing the bridge of the song, so Neversoft really wanted the players to feel that awkwardness. Just thought I'd bring it up, I thought it was interesting.
Carry on the wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Let your weary head. Come back to me, it's almost pleasing. Come back again, it's almost pleasing.
So during Souls of Black, song 78, I got another phone call and it lasted about 10 minutes. But these people know I'm trying to become a Rock Band legend. I guess it could be considered a small break, but not really because I had to flex my vocal cords anyway to talk to the person on the phone, but whatever. Let's get back to the set list. So you might notice that the gameplay has just changed. Well, as I mentioned before, I ran the endless setlist with guitar before, and I decided to record the last 5 songs because I was planning to show some of this footage during my Rock Band 2 review. Anyways, Visions is the last talkie songs in the setlist, and instead of showing the boring vocals gameplay of just unpitched notes, I'm showing off some intense guitar shredding to break a bit from the monotony of the vocals gameplay and add some variety. Alright, song 83, back to vocals gameplay. Only 2 more to go.
All wound up on the edge, terrified. Sleep disturbed, restless mind.
Alright, this is it guys, the very last song of the setlist, the hardest song on every instrument. We've made it this far, and it's been quite the journey. So let's end this setlist by testing my lungs. You guys ready? Here goes. And with that, the set list is completed. The game tells us to keep singing to make sparks fly, but I really wasn't in that much of a mood to do so. Alright, 417 out of 420 stars. Not bad. Then the game gives me my shiny new icon for my troubles. Well, that was pretty fun. I started at 8:36 AM and finished at 7:09 PM. So as I show some stats on the screen about the run, I'll explain some behind the scenes. So I didn't realize until after recording how bad the mic sounds whenever it's played back through Rock Band 2. So I actually replayed some of these songs on Rock Band 3 and recorded both the game audio and the Rock Band mic, so that it'd sound better. Rock Band 2's mic quality just doesn't sound that great. It's a tad delayed and has a lot of reverb, so I wanted to find a way to mix the music audio and mic audio so that I won't make your ears bleed. If I did make your ears bleed during the video, let me know, because you may be entitled to compensation. Alright, I'll let the rest of the stats play out, and if you want more Rock Band 2 content, wait till next month where I'll review the entire game. Doge Buddha out.